What's up, guys? It's Andrew here to break down this video. So before I jump into this, if you haven't seen the previous videos with scenario 1 and 2 talking about the tactics and how they should have been used, then you need to check that out before you really check this one out, because in this video I'm breaking down the pros and the cons that I pointed out in a real life scenario to kind of give you a real life visual of how things happen and how things play out. This is a perfect example of what I was trying to point out as far as things going bad and how things that I pointed out as tactics should have been applied. So if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see a grayish white box. That box represents the suspect call. The blue one represents the squad call that you see in the video. The green one is the one that's facing the blue call and the white call, and is giving us the video that we see from the dash cam. So it is facing towards both vehicles, right? So with that said, let's jump into this, right? So if you notice right here, you have this officer. He is dealing with not searching the vehicle, but he's dealing with talking to a subject that's in this vehicle. And then what happens is that subject right there, you see how he's not even at the call, but the officer, the subject that's now highlighted with blue, it's not at the call, but the officer that's now marked in purple took cover. The officer who's marked in purple, when he was right there with the blue dealing with that subject, he should have not left that area. He should have stayed close and engaged the threat there. Or at least if he did have to move from where he was, he should have moved this direction instead of that direction. Because what it allows is this guy who's now marked with the blue to take all this, as you will see. Okay, now if you watch the dumpster one, the guy in the green, notice how the point of view is. This guy is able to travel that direction perfectly. He's able to travel that direction and not be caught or seen until later on. So he is now out of this situation. He's gone because they allowed him to have this vehicle right here as cover to be able to flee from behind. There is no reason that the guy, when he was right there, this guy, there's no reason he shouldn't be in handcuffs. There's no reason that this woman or whatever should not be in handcuffs. Just because they're in handcuffs do not mean that they are arrested. It just means that they are secured for your safety, to be questioned, to be investigated. You don't have to have them in handcuffs just to arrest them. For your safety, you can put them in handcuffs, and there's no reason that they should not be. If you got more than one subject, handcuff one. That way you got control of the situation, because this is a perfect example of how it goes bad. So the guy takes off. Now notice right here, you have this call and this call, and then I'm going to mark up above. The call that they now took is the call that was green. It's marked by the blue, this second blue dot right there, right? That is what they're taking cover. They're taking cover behind that green car, right? So that allows, if you watch the dumpster vehicle, for this vehicle to be used as cover by the target, and it allows for this vehicle to be used as cover by the subject, the threat. And you will see how it plays out. Right now, the subject Right now the subject is in this area. Yeah, see? I was going to say he was in that area right there. Now notice how he went around the vehicle like that. That should not happen. They allowed the subject to go from this vehicle around, and that shouldn't have happened. Now what happens, or should have happened, was this guy, he steps back like I pointed out earlier and addresses this situation. This subject is handcuffed. This subject is handcuffed. This officer should be more like this so he can provide more line of sight on both this guy and this guy. Staying close to that vehicle like he is doesn't do anything for what's going down right here as far as being able to witness it, to be able to see it. Now, when they do get the guy that's right here out, the officer that was right here, he should have opened that door and used it as cover, and he should have stayed engaged that way. This officer, seeing how he did flee to cover, he should have went to that side of that vehicle and used that door, the driver's door, to keep cover on this side, to shoot across that 45-degree right there and keep cover, because he's still doing so would have been able to keep eyes on that subject right there as well. The officer that was right here would have been able to keep eyes on her. Even if she's not handcuffed, he could have put her back, opened that door, threw her in there real quick. Granted, she's not handcuffed, but she's secure enough that she's out of the line of sight. But what they did was, this is your subject car, this is their car, this is the other car, and what they did was go back here behind this car right there and leave these two cars for the subjects to move around and come up on them, as you saw. Pushing forward, this is the subject's car, this is their car right there. They should have went here with that guy going there, and the officer that was right here should have went here. That way, that's secure. This shooting man only has this Ford car right here to hide cover, and then with the officer on this side, he can go that side of the car, this car right here, which is this. He could have seen all that side to the front, and then of course the officer on this side could see this, and the only cover they have is the front right here. And then they could have, as I talked about, moved up. They could have moved up to take it and close in. They could have swung out at a 45 if need to be and come in at a 45 to keep the distance gap, to keep the angles if need be. But they should have not retreated back here behind this line right here. They should have stayed, because there's no reason for what happens to happen. That shouldn't have happened. That subject shouldn't have fled. That subject should not be shooting over the cop cars. And notice how he didn't walk around this side. He walked around that side of the vehicle So, at some point, they left the cover hill, and they are more likely behind this vehicle, which they are not looking along this side. They are looking on that back side back there for some reason. That's the only thing that could make sense, because if they were back here behind this line, he's perfect target. If they had both sides of the vehicles right there in the dot, and the officers on this side got point of contact, point of aim, point of sight, line of sight on that side as well. Apparently they not. Apparently they back over here somewhere, and that's why the subject is going that side. And then they come across, I guess, because they see through it. They see through the vehicle right there that he's coming across it, and at some point they come around this side. Because, yeah, see the officer, he's coming into camera. So he's thinking, because he allowed the two vehicles to be covered, that the guy is still back here. Or not, the guy is coming around. Right there, I don't know who he's shooting. I don't know who dropped down. I think they cut it because he went from coming around to shooting someone, and then that right there, I'm going to rewind it back a little bit. He's shooting the subject or something on the ground, and then his partner in his cover comes around, and notice he is literally firing over this guy's head. Literally firing over this guy's head. This guy pops up too quickly the wrong way, he's gone. And now this guy is having to aim this way on the left and this way on the right of this gentleman right here. There's no reason that this officer should be in the line of fire of him, and there's definitely no reason that this officer should be firing above his head, which means that the subject that was originally there at some point went this way and came back. And that's why I was talking about in that original video, scenario 1 and 2, you never want them to be able to go that way, because you never know, they could come back just like that and become a bigger threat. Because obviously at some point right there, they shot someone. So that means two subjects, and one of them is shooting from behind them. And that officer right there, he shouldn't have digressed. He should be advancing. If the subject's coming at you head on, you advance on it head on, because your bullets travel a shorter distance. They make impact. They quicker the closer you are. I know it doesn't seem like it's that much of a difference, but believe me, the more rounds you can get in this subject faster, the better you are, especially when he's got your partner down here. Any questions, comments, or concerns, get at me. Until next time, guys.